Hello everyone, it's Deb's Collings here, and today we're going to talk about how do you know what requires healing? Okay, really, in order to bring healing, you take awareness to why something's happening. That sort of brings a healing to something, and that's what I do with people all the time. So, how do you know what needs healing? The first thing I would share is this: any issue that's coming up in your life right now. And there's going to be quite a few issues for people because we're at a time on the planet where we're going through a cleansing. And if you haven't seen my Knowing the Bigger Picture video, which I'll link below, then it would be good to watch it so you recognize why these issues are coming up for you and why it may be intense at the moment, or there may be a lot going on for you. Okay? But really understand this. Anything that's coming up or anything you're walking through is happening for you to wake up to more of you, to expand your own awareness. Okay? So let's give you some helpful hinters on how you can find or know what needs healing if it's not obvious to you. I'm sure it probably is, but if it's not, then let's help you with that. So one of the first things to pay attention to is what's happening in your physical body. Now, this seems obvious, but a lot of people don't pay attention to their body. They're kind of not tuning into their body. Now, with your body, anything that's showing up, it could be a disease, it could be uh, pains, it could be allergies, it could be any number of things. But if you've got ongoing similar patterning in your physical body, it requires healing. It requires awareness because truly the body is the main messenger of your soul, of your higher self. Okay, so when you've got physical body issues going on, it brings your awareness, it wakes you up basically, especially if it's something like cancer or things that you just can't ignore. So, all physical disease is going to have either old life energies connected to it, that's why it needs healing, or it requires you to wake up to listen to your body better and to recognize that body is something you're wearing, not who you are. Okay, so how do I know what needs healing? I've got physical imbalances. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you've got any fears, and if you've got fears that are irrational, especially, they will have their origins in old lives, past lives, and they are things that are coming up now for healing. So if you've got any fears. Third thing, mental imbalance, mental issues. Now, with this, again, and you'll notice right now, there's a lot of mental imbalance. Okay, and the main reason for this is because most people think they are their mind. They identify with the voice in the head, etc., when truly we are not our mind. It's software, it's something we use, it's not who we are. But if somebody really identifies with the voice in the head and believes that's them, then they're going to be experiencing some sort of mental imbalance, a flavor of it, because literally old life, past life energies are clearing right now, and the mind is bringing in old defunct patterning, so people will know what needs addressing. Right? Also, our mind is connected to the collective mind in the mental plane, and this um, mental plane is very fractious right now, okay, because of the time we're in. If you haven't watched that Knowing the Bigger Picture video, I suggest doing it. I will link it below. It's a video I did to help people understand the amazing time we're in, and this helps us understand what needs healing or what we need to sort of learn about ourselves, more about who we are. Now, schizophrenia, bipolar, often these people are literally sensitive people picking up other lifetimes, old patterns of other lifetimes, and they bleed into this lifetime. So I've had that in sessions before. I have a lot of people that have anxiety and panic attacks, guys. There's more of that than ever. Well, that's again because there is a lot going on in the mental plane. And for example, recently I just did a session with somebody, and their anxiety was coming from old life energies. We got to that. And the second part of it was that person being connected to like lower frequency, shadowy type energies. And it was because that person hadn't dealt with their own inner shadow. Because we've all had shadow lives, what we might say is negative. It's not at all. It's just we've all lived a different spectrum of lives, like different frequencies of that. And so if you don't attend to your own shadow, or you just believe in love and light all the way, then you know, if you don't deal with your own shadow, you may attract shadowy kind of energies that will definitely have you feeling anxious, have anxiety, and sometimes panic attacks. All right. The other thing with anxiety, it's incredibly important for people to get their bare feet on the earth to help them ground the high energies that are coming into the planet. This happened the other day where a client's higher self said this highlight that's coming in, because the person wasn't grounding, the energy was running around in their systems, and we are electromagnetic beings. We carry huge voltage in our systems. There's plenty of information out there about that. But if we're bringing highlight in, and we're not grounding it and really connecting to the earth, then that can be a factor affecting anxiety, panic, etc. So just know any mental imbalance, mental issues, they have um, an energetic origin. It could be an old life. It could be just the person overly identified with being a mind, which is not who we are. So it's like a wake up call, if you could say it on some level. Um, I'll just speak to depression as well at the moment, because again, these things have just they're skyrocketing right now. People with these symptoms and depression, you know, often I'm with a client and these are the symptoms they've been having, and it's because they're not connected to their own higher self. They don't nurture their connection with their own spirit, and what happens is they're basically resisting or holding off that connection, that light that's naturally coming into the planet right now. And what that leads to is them almost sitting in stagnant old energies, and that's going to make you feel like you don't want to get up in the morning. It'll make some people feel they don't want to live, because this high energy is coming in to bring up the old energies of other lifetimes. And we are cleansing our lifetimes across, all of our lives. And everyone's had hundreds of lives on this planet, whether they know it or not. So depression can be someone not attending to that old energy and resisting their own connection to their higher self, shutting off that inner world, shutting off the fact that they are spirit, when truly that's who we are. We're the energy that animates this body. We only wear the body, and the mind is just something we use. But of course, everybody forgets it, but now we're all waking up to it. That's why we're in this amazing time. So how do you know what's needs healing? Look for mental imbalances, and you will recognize there's some things to get to there. Now, the next thing I would say is, if you have any issues with certain people, let's imagine it's a family member. Now, this is a biggie, because a lot of the time we incarnate back into families so we can resolve old energies, past life energies. This is super common, okay? And if you have an issue right now, you're being triggered, getting emotional with a certain family member, it's probably balancing some karma that you've had in an old lifetime. It's as simple as that. People forget it, of course, we get it. But if you're having an issue with someone, you're probably balancing karma. These are all things that I look at inside a quantum session. The other thing is, if you're having issues with a certain trait in personality, certain ways people are, it might be a certain flavor of personality that really triggers you, rubs you up the wrong way. This could be where you yourself have had other lives and you've been that person and you're not at peace with being that particular trait of personality. And this could be why it's triggering you in this life. So truly, guys, everything's happening for you to wake up to what's happening on the planet. We're clearing this old energy and we're relinking back to who we truly are. And the way we do that is to pay attention to what requires healing. All right. So, how do you know? Pay attention to your inner world. Check, what fears do I have? What diseases or dysfunctions do I have in my body? What's going on in my mind? Where are the imbalances? Why have I got a problem with ABC in my family? And why am I being triggered by ABC? It's all showing you what needs healing. Healing is just another word for bringing awareness to stuff. It's what I do in a quantum session, and it's what I love to do because it's actually quite easy to affect change when you're doing a quantum session. I have a checklist of things that I get people to write down so that we know we've got to their old patterns. Self-sabotaging patterns, I should mention here. This is an interesting one. A lot of you might have these sabotaging patterns. You know you're doing something, it's not serving you, but you're finding it really hard to break that pattern. Now, the root cause of any self-sabotage is low self-esteem, low self-worth, or imprinting from a parent but this is all old energy, okay? So you can't think your way out of self-sabotaging patterns, and that's why people get stuck in them. In quantum sessions, we look at why someone's doing that, and you can bet your bottom dollar that there's been many old lives where people have had issues and they've had low self-worth, low self-esteem, and that's led to them bringing it into this life. And because they're not paying attention to where that's come from, like an old life, it'll show up as a sabotaging pattern in this lifetime. That's another thing that needs healing. Just needed to bring that in because it was something that came to my mind just now. Okay, so life is happening for you to wake up to who you are. Right? It's also happening for you to know what needs healing, what needs your awareness. And if you're paying attention to your inside world, you'll find it easy to pinpoint what requires healing. So that's the subject of this. Now you've got a better idea as to how you can check in, and all of those things I've mentioned will be coming from old energies. All right. So I've linked my website below. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to write in the comments below. I will check back. And take care of yourself right now. There's a lot going on. Pay attention to the inside because that's the reflection, the outside's the reflection of that. Even weather patterns, guys. When you think about it, Mother Earth cleans and clears energy through storms and all sorts of weird patterns. It seems weird, but it's not really. If humans aren't cleansing their emotions and patterns, then the Earth does it. So the more you clean up your inside world, the more you bring healing to your old traumas and old energies, the less Mother Earth has to run those weird patterns as well. And there's not one person in this world that's not being affected by some sort of weather patterning, whether it be fires or storms, flooding, etc. So no, that's all a reflection of what's going on inside us. If you take care of your own inner world, then you're doing not only yourself a favor, you're also being on purpose on the planet at this time, because your cleansed self adds to the great energy on the planet. It means that you have taken, or you've been responsible for all your lifetimes on the planet. And guys, we are evolving, we're shifting paradigms, and it is important to get to this. And it's why so much is coming up for everyone. No, you can get to it easy, and you just need to expand your awareness, okay? I'm sending you all my love, guys. and take care. Namaste. Bye for now.